What is up, you guys? It is D-Man HD, and I am back. And today we're going to do a different twist on our weekly predictions. Last week we went 10-4, bringing our record to 89, 36-1 on the year. Not a bad record, but we got a football genius, as he likes to call himself, in Cardinals, aka Lock for MVP, who apparently only has 5 or 6 games incorrect. We're also joined by my friend Luke, also known as the Steelers guy. I will leave both their links down in the description. I know Steelers streams a lot on Twitch, and Cardinals has an interesting Twitter to follow. But what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be going through the weekly games as always, but whoever has the best record after this week will win. And in what I'm saying with winning is I'm putting on 250,000 coins in Madden Ultimate Team. So if Steelers or Lock beats me in this weekly prediction, which not going to happen, they will get 250k. So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yo, what is up?
Alright.
I am Lock for MVP. I am the biggest Broncos fan, and I will kick D-Man's ass.
That's just false, I mean. Well, you're the only Broncos fan I know, so, but... Steelers, Luke, you want to say anything?
Alright, I am that Steelers guy, also known as Luke. I stream sometimes on Twitch, and I want 250k, so I think I'm going to guess correctly.
Alright, let's get right into this. The first game is Thursday Night Football. We got the Indianapolis Colts going to the Tennessee Titans. Anybody want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Alright.
I have the Titans beating the Colts.
Alright. Luke, you want to go in?
I think the Titans will beat the Colts.
I think the Titans are going to beat the Colts too. Titans are just a better football team. Colts, you know, they're a coin toss team. Like, one week they're good, one week they're not. I can't figure out the Colts. They have a great defense, and then there's like weeks where like the offense just doesn't show up, and I think the Titans are just going to win this game. All right, the next game we got is the Texans and the Browns.
I'll go first.
I have the Browns beating the Texans.
All right.
I also have the Browns beating the Texans.
I think that D-line's going to be a problem for the Texans O-line.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson, you might want to just say, like, you're sick and not play this game. It might be better for your health. Yeah, that Cleveland Browns defensive line is just going to tear apart that offensive line, I guess you can call it, for the Texans. I once as well have the Browns beating the Texans. Next game we have, this one is a little interesting. We have the Washington football team going to Detroit to face the Lions.
Alright, so I actually have the football team beating the Lions.
Really?
I have the Lions beating the football team.
I also have the Lions beating the football team. Kyle Allen dislocated his ankle, another gruesome leg injury in the NFC East. I think the Lions are just a better team than the football team, so I think the Lions are going to win this one. Next one, we got the Packers and the Jaguars.
I have the Packers beating I have the Packers beating the Jaguars convincingly, and that was my lock.
That's your lock of the week?
That is also... I have the Packers beating the Jags, and that's also my lock.
Well, I have the Packers beating the Jags, but that actually is not my lock of the week. That's actually going to come up in a little bit. But we all had the Packers beating the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they're not starting Minshew Mania. They're starting Jake Luton. Yeah, that's all you have to say about that. Although I am expecting a big game from James Robinson against that horrible Packers run D for fantasy. We got the Eagles and the Giants, and Jesus Christ. Alright, who wants to go first in this game?
I got this one.
I have the Eagles beating the Giants. The Giants are just a terrible team.
So, here's what's going to happen. It might not happen, but I think it might happen. If I'm the Eagles, and I want to light a fire under Carson Wentz's ass, I put in their backup.
You're saying they start Hurts?
If I am the Eagles, I would, just to get Wentz a little more motivated. So I'm going to go with. I'm still picking the Eagles over the Giants, but I want to see Hurts make his debut.
So, we've seen Tua time, we've seen Herbert, we've seen Burrow. So you're saying we also now got to see Jalen Hurts in Philly. I mean, we've seen him in some action, but we haven't seen him as the starter yet. All right, interesting prediction. I'm going to have the Eagles. Contrary to what a lot of people say, the Giants, they lose their games. Go ahead. What were you saying?
So I want to see him play at least a half. It probably won't happen, but I want it to.
Okay.
Yeah, Eagles definitely winning that game.
I have the Eagles winning that game. I don't care if you lose pretty or you lose ugly. You still lose. The Giants do not win games unless you're playing the Washington football team. Eagles are better than that football team. I'm picking the Eagles in this one. Next game, we got the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Now, I'm going to start this one off with, and this is actually my lock of the week. Click it in there. I'm picking the Buccaneers to beat the Panthers. And the reason why, Tom Brady was just embarrassed on primetime. He's not going to go out on a second loss. I'm picking the Buccaneers as my lock of the week.
I have the Bucs beating the Panthers. I'm going to say they beat them by at least 14. I think this is an angry game for Tom Brady, and he's just going to unleash everything on the Panthers.
I also have the Bucks beating the Panthers. Like, as good as CNC is, the defense is just so bad. If you've ever watched them.
Yeah. All right, the next game we got, which probably is one of the better games of this week, we got the Buffalo Bills going into Arizona and facing the Cardinals. Buffalo coming off an impressive win against Seattle. You guys can go first because I might be a little biased in this one.
All right, you're going to be happy to hear this, but I have you guys beating the Cardinals, but I say it's a really close game.
All right. I have the Cardinals beating the Bills by, I'm going to say, one score. And it's going to happen really late in the game. I think that the Bills are going to score and get the lead with like a little bit of time left. But then I think the Cardinals just march down the field and score at the last second. So I have the Cardinals.
Before I give my pick, I'm just letting you guys know Steelers has now forfeited his $250K if he wins because he did not pick the Bills, and I am a biased host. I am picking the Buffalo Bills to beat the Arizona Cardinals. The Bills' main focus should be what they did. Kyler, exactly. Last week, the Bills focused on the pass game on both ends, and they shut down Russell Wilson, and they went all over the field passing against the Seahawks defense. If they can contain Kyler Murray, the Bills defense should be able to maintain a lead, and if the Bills offense can continue what they did last week, Buffalo should win this game. I'm picking the Bills. If they can contain Kyler Murray, it's going to be a fun game for me to watch. If not, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. We got the next game. We got the Broncos going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you guys got?
Do you have to ask me that question?
I mean, well, I had to say my team, so I guess you have to say your team too.
Yeah, I have to choose my team. Like, if you like, I want to know, like, if we are healthy, which I expect we will be, we will beat the living breaks off the Raiders. It's going to happen.
All right.
Raiders win that game.
Yeah, sorry, Locke. I'm going with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are an underrated team. Not a lot of people give them credit. They play really good teams, and they play every game pretty well. They beat the Chiefs. I'm picking the Raiders in this one, and I'm going with Chucky winning another game. We got the Chargers going to Miami to face the Dolphins.
Okay, I have an upset alert. I actually have, based on the who was favored in this game, I actually have the Chargers winning this game.
That's your upset of the week?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Miami is favored by a lot.
As I've seen right now, I Actually, it looks like the Chargers are favored. It's because Miami's minus 2.5. Anyway, that is
Well,
that
I
was
gonna
my
say,
upset of the week
looking
too.
at the record-wise, like you would think Miami's gonna win this game by a convincing margin, but the Chargers are a sneaky team. Like Chargers can pull out, like if the Chargers can get their offense going and their defense can get pressure on Tua, which Tua's not necessarily looked the best. If I'm being honest, like last week he looked like he was a rookie.
Yeah.
Against the Rams, he looked like he was a rookie. I think they could actually win this game.
I think I agree with you a lot because the Chargers were actually my upset of the week too. Now I don't know if this is because from what I'm seeing in both quarterbacks, I mean, Tua is going to be one of those quarterbacks now that is going to be grossly overrated by the media. He can do a little toss and they'll think it's the greatest thing ever. Now it's not his fault. It's just the fact that he's not really doing all that anything amazing, but they're making it look like that. Justin Herbert is playing fantastic football. Definitely one of those front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year. They're my pick for the upset of the week for this week.
I think that the Chargers are going to win, but I think Tua gets his welcome to the NFL moment. I think he's going to throw a pick six in this game.
All right. Is
I
that
have
your
the Chargers.
is that your upset of the week, or are you still saving that?
Is not my upset of the week.
Ooh, all right. The next game we got is the Seattle Seahawks going to the Los Angeles Rams. Who wants to take this one first?
I have the Rams.
Okay.
I have Seattle, and here is why I have Seattle. So they just had a pretty tough loss against the Bills. Russell Wilson
Damn
had
right
4
they did.
turnovers. And so Russell Wilson is going to think about that game the entire time he's playing this game. I think the Seahawks blow out the Rams.
See, I had the same logic because if you remember last week, the Rams had a bye and they had to sit at home knowing they had just lost to Tua, who was making his rookie debut, even though they played well, and Jared Goff struggled that game. So I'm thinking it's more of a Jared Goff comeback game, and the Rams have never lost back-to-back games this year. That's also another logic behind this, is I haven't Jared Goff often when he struggles often comes back and responds in a big way. Plus the Rams always play the Seahawks hard. So I'm thinking they're going to end up beating the Seahawks, but I think it's going to be a close game.
I'm actually going to take the Seahawks, and for something similar to what Luke said, Russell Wilson before the Bills game was the top tier MVP candidate. He was running away with it, and last week he turned the ball over 4 times, and he got, let's be honest, Josh Allen outperformed Russell Wilson that week. I think Russell Wilson comes back strong this week, and I'm expecting a huge game from DK Metcalf alone to help the Seahawks beat the Rams. The next game we got is the 49ers and the Saints.
No, Saints are going to smack the Niners.
Well, that was a quick prediction, all right.
I mean, no Jimmy Garoppolo, no George Kittle, no. Yes, they get Sherman back, but they have no pass rush against the Saints offense is fully healthy again. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be even close.
So I also think that the Saints definitely win that game, but I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout. I think that the Saints are still going to be thinking about that win over the Bucs, and I think that they're just going to start overlooking people. Because I mean, after they play the Niners, they play the Falcons. So
Wow.
I think it's probably going to be 7 or under point differential. But
Alright.
I definitely have the Saints winning.
I'm going to have the Saints winning this one, too. If it was a healthy 49ers team, they obviously wouldn't be in the 4-5 situation that they are in currently. I think you have everyone healthy. The 49ers are probably favorites, but the Saints just blew out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a division rival, and Michael Thomas is back. They're looking like a good football team. I'm going to take the Saints in this one. They just look like arguably the best team in the NFC right now. We got the Bengals and Luke's Steelers, the 8-0 Steelers. You want to start this one off, Luke?
Sure. All right. So there's two things that could happen.
I was going to say the same thing.
Number one being Roethlisberger does not play. We are losing this game.
Interesting.
If Roethlisberger does play, and our defense is on par, we demolish the Bengals. If Roethlisberger does not play, this would be the upset of the week. I'm not saying I'm using the upset of the week. I'm taking the Steelers, obviously, but I think it's going to be a close game because we play down to our.
That's what I was going to say. For me, it all comes down to Big Ben. If Big Ben does not play, this Steelers team could be in a lot of trouble, especially the way they played last week. If they get off behind that, again like that, I think the Bengals could actually shut the door on the Steelers. Especially if it's someone like a Mason Rudolph or like a Duck Hodges, who's not known to have the it. I guess it's called the it factor, like a clutch gene. So we've seen both of those quarterbacks struggle. We've seen them both be successful. I think it's going to come down to the weapons of the Steelers. They can create separation against this. It's a talented Bengals secondary. They should be able to win. But I'll take the Steelers. But so it's going to come down to Big Ben's health.
From what my understanding is, once you're placed on the COVID reserve list,
if he's cleared by Saturday, he's going to be playing. But if he can't be cleared by Saturday, because he was put on the list, he was in close proximity, so he has to come back with I think it's 2 or 3 negative tests. So he won't be practicing this week, which could be a problem, especially coming off an injury.
Yeah,
he was injured in the Cowboys game, whether we want to admit it or not.
He got hurt.
He played the second half, but he was injured.
I think, everyone is saying this, if Ben Roethlisberger does not play, this should be a Bengals win, with the Steelers playing down to their opponent. I'm actually going to take the Bengals.
Oh, no.
Mainly because, and I'm sorry, Luke, but you also picked against my Bills, so it's even now. But I think the Bengals are going to win for 2 reasons. I don't think Ben Roethlisberger plays this game because at this rate, a game against the Bengals when they're 2-5-1, it's not going to make or break the Steelers season. Right now, the Steelers are on pace to be the number 1 seed. If Ben Roethlisberger is even slightly injured, I would rest him in this game. It's a division game. You do not want him to get hurt. He already has this COVID reserve list. I don't think he plays this week, and I think Joe Burrow just shines in this game. I think the Steelers' defense does enough, but I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the Bengals win by a field goal at the end of the game.
See, that's the interesting part. If the Steelers would lose, I believe the Chiefs would actually own the number 1 seed for having a better record in the conference than the Steelers do.
Yep, but I think it wouldn't. At that rate, the Steelers would still be healthy to go the rest of the season. You want Ben Roethlisberger to be healthy because you saw last season when Ben Roethlisberger wasn't there and you had to rely on Mason Rudolph, and then when he got hurt, you had to rely on Duck Hodges, the team fell apart. Ben Roethlisberger is the key piece to that team making the deep playoff run. So if I'm the Steelers, if even it has a slight chance of having COVID-19, I'm resting him this game. Also let his knees get healthy. He is old. He's not going to bounce back from injuries quick as a lot of other players. I'm picking the Bengals in this one. We got the Ravens going to New England and facing the Patriots. Now, the last time these two teams played was last year in the regular season on Sunday Night Football.
Lamar Jackson destroyed the Patriots.
And this was the boogeyman defense. This was not this Patriots defense. This was the defense that was ranked number 1 in almost every category.
Yeah, but my interest still the same. It's still the Ravens are going to beat the Patriots. The Patriots do not look good with Cam Newton. And the one thing that the Ravens defense can do is they can rush the passer and they can force a lot of turnovers. And Cam is known for a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes. You saw last week against the Jets. He struggled against the Jets. And the Jets are a very easy team to beat.
Let's just label the Jets as what they are. They're a tanking team. You're not allowed to legally say that on any NFL network or ESPN. They're tanking. They have number 16 Trevor Lawrence in their mind, and they're trading Sam Darnold in the offseason. The Jets are tanking, and the Patriots escaped them. They weren't leading any part of this game except the end. So, like, with that logic, I'm taking the Ravens. I think this is New England team that, like, this is like, an awakening. They have been the dynasty for 20 years. Patriots fans were coming at me on Twitter saying Cam Newton's washed. If you look at him, he has 2 passing touchdowns the entire year. 2. He has 7 picks. If you want to look at the running stats, great. You have a running quarterback. He can't throw. His throwing motion is awful anymore. He's throwing the ball into the ground. He had Jacoby Myers wide open for a touchdown. He overthrew him. So don't come at me saying Cam Newton's this great player. He is washed. He can't throw anymore. I'm picking the Ravens. What do you got, Luke?
I think the Ravens win by 17.
All right. So the last game of the week is the Vikings and the Bears. Now, Luke, I have to ask you a question. You haven't used your upset of the week yet. Is this the game? Well, obviously it has to be, but are you taking the Vikings?
No, I am taking the Bears. The Vikings are on a hell of a run right now, and that can all come to an end very quickly. I think the Bears somehow, some way, come back and win this game.
So that's your upset of the week for the Bears. I guess you can. I guess you can count it because the Bears aren't a good football team. They were 5-1. Now they've lost 3 straight. And Luke is saying they bounce off of that and they finally get one back in the win column. Interesting. All right.
No.
No.
No. I had the Vikings beating the Bears. The Bears at one point in time just had this amazing defense. They had all these guys, all these weapons they could use. But recently, that offense has looked terrible. Nick Foles. Well, Nick Foles has been Nick Foles on showing he's like the Nick Foles on the Rams. Like, people want to forget about that. He's being really turnover prone.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are a defensive minded team. Not to mention the Bears secondary has been getting up a lot of yards through running backs. And Dalvin Cook, you can say it right now, he could be an MVP candidate right now, based on how he's been playing. Because what is he, like 3 or 4 straight games of averaging like 200 scrimmage yards or something like stupid like that?
He has 858 rushing yards and 12 TDs, and he missed 3 or 4 games.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He missed time, and he's still one of the most lethal runners. And not to mention, he's been averaging, I think it's 2 or 3 touchdowns a game as well.
Well, let's just take a look at this, right? So, he's 5th in attempts at 144. He's 1st in rushing yards at 858. He's 1st in touchdowns with 12. And he's 3rd in average at 6 yards a carry. Yeah.
Dalvin Cook has been a problem for a lot of teams. And the Packers' defense, I will say this, the Packers, as much as we want to compliment them on offense, their defense has been good. And they got embarrassed by Dalvin.
Dalvin Cook has scored a touchdown in his last 5 games. And there's only one game he did not get over 100 yards. And every other game, he's gotten at least 130 yards.
So here's my my thinking behind this, right? It's just one of those games for Kirk Cousins. I think that Dalvin Cook is going to have probably 120-ish yards with 2 touchdowns. But I think Kirk Cousins throws 2 or 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns.
Okay.
I think Bears win off of that.
All right. Kirk Cousins is infamously bad on Monday Night Football.
That's just a stereo. That's a stereotype.
It's a kind of a true statistic. He does not win on Monday night. I'm still gonna take the Vikings though. We discussed it. Dalvin Cook, he is a true MVP candidate. He won't get any votes because he's a running back and this is a quarterback favored league. Example, Kyler Murray winning Rookie of the Year last year over Josh Jacobs, but he should be in consideration for that MVP. It would be the first time since AP won it that a running back won the award, and I think the Vikings are just a better team than the Bears, and that's weird to say because the Bears are 5-4, but the Vikings, they are a decent team. They're not a good team, but the Bears are not a good team from any sense either. They don't know who their quarterback is. One week they're saying Nick Foles is the man. Then they go back to Trubisky, and he sucks, and Foles sucks, and they just need a quarterback. If I'm the Bears, I'm thinking of trying to trade something for maybe Jacoby Brissett or something that's like better than Trubisky and Foles. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. That's going to be the end of this video, guys. Don't worry, they're not going to get any coins.
That's a lie. I'm winning, and he knows it, and he's afraid that I'm going to win.
I have never been afraid in my life, okay?
That's a lie.
That is absolutely a lie. But, it's fine.
I was going to say,
that is an absolute lie. But, Steelers picked the Steelers to beat the Bengals. Like, Joe Burrow's going to beat the Steelers, okay?
No, he's not.
He's going to... All right.
Put coins on that, then.
I did. I put $250K on this.
No, put coins directly on that game.
On that game?
Now.
What? You want to put $50K on it?
Put $50K on it right
Alright,
now.
I'll put $50K on Joe Burrow beating the Steelers.
Good. Because I'm getting $300K now.
You're not getting shit.
He knows it.
We already know Steelers have been disqualified for picking the Cardinals against the Bills. So, I guess it's just between me and Locke, and I'm keeping my coins.
You're going to lose your coins.
I ain't losing shit. That's going to be the next video, guys. I'm D-Man HD. I'll leave everyone's links in the description, and I'm out. Peace.